your abundant favor upon us, your servants, whom you have entrusted with the performance of such important trust in this community. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our attention and deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, the prosperity, and welfare of this region and of those whose interest you have committed to us.
You may take your seats. Order number 3, procedural motion.
Honorable Mashaka Ngole, the chair of the Committee on Legal, Rules and Privileges.
Whereas Clause 1 of Article 55 of the treaty provide that the meetings of the Assembly shall be held at such times and places as the Assembly may appoint. And whereas Rule 2 of the Rules of Procedure of the Assembly provide that the seat of the Assembly shall be at Arusha in the United Republic of Tanzania. And whereas Sub-Rule 5 of Rule 10 of the Rules of the Assembly provides that the meetings of the Assembly shall be held at such times and places as the Assembly may appoint, and shall meet at least once in every year at Arusha in the United Republic of Tanzania, and at a time to be determined by the Assembly. Now, therefore, this Assembly do resolves as follows: that pursuant to the provisions of Sub-Rule 5 of Rule 10 of the Assembly Rules cited above, the Assembly shall hold its sittings in the Parliament of Uganda from 21st of October to 12th November 2024 at the State House Entebbe and the Parliament of Uganda in Kampala. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move.
Do you have seconders? Oh, the whole House. So, thank you. So, honorable members, I have to put a question. Those who are in favor of this motion, say nay. Those who are against, say nay. Those who are in favor, say aye. Aye. Those who are against, say nay. The ayes, you have it.
Item number 4 on the order paper, proclamation by the Speaker.
Honorable members, amidst us today is our Mzee, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda and member of the Summit of the East African Head of States. We have also among us Right Honorable Annette Among, the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda. I have also invited the newly elected member from the Republic of Tanzania and the newly appointed ex-official member to be part of us. I have, in accordance with the provision of Article 54 of the treaty, invited His Excellency, the President, to address the Assembly. I now proceed to make the following proclamation to welcome his presence in the Assembly. Whereas Article 54, item number 1 of the treaty provides that the Speaker of the Assembly may invite any person to attend the Assembly, notwithstanding that he or she is not a member of the Assembly, if in his or her opinion, the business of the Assembly renders his or her presence desirable. And whereas, in the opinion of the Speaker, the attendance and presence in the Assembly of the President of the Republic of Uganda is desirable in accordance with the business now before the Assembly. Now, therefore, it is with great pleasure and honor on your behalf, honorable members, to welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, in the Assembly. This is given under my hand this Tuesday, the 22nd day of October 2024. Thank you.
Item number 5 on the order paper, address by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
The Right Honourable, hello? Is it clear? Yes. The volume seems...
But won't welcome him.
Hello?
What can I do?
The Right Honourable Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly, the Right Honourable Speaker of the Uganda Parliament, all the honourable members of Eala, and other invited guests. First of all, I welcome you to Uganda. Thank you for coming to hold your meetings here. When I have a chance to talk to Africans, it is a great pleasure to me. This is because this is what I've been doing for the last 60 plus years. We've been very busy with the subject of African integration. African integration. Some years ago, I was invited in a seminar in Dar es Salaam by our late brother, Benjamin Mkapa. And as usual, it was a pleasure for me to talk about the subject of the East African and African integration. This is not a subject of emotions that we want unity just because we want unity. It is an issue of life or death for the future of the Africans. It should be very clear. And I'm glad you have come here so that I talk to you. The reason for integration reasons are three. There are three historical missions for the African people. Historical mission number one, you must answer the question of prosperity. Prosperity. I think in Swahili they say ustawi, ustawi wa jamii. How can African families be prosperous? Where does prosperity come from? I like to start with my tribe. You must have heard of a tribe called Banyankore. There are some, if you look on the map of Uganda, they may be, of Africa, they may be there. Now, these Banyankore are cattle keepers, but they also grow crops. They have cows, they have bananas, and other crops. But the problem is that they all produce similar products. This Munyankore is having cows, his neighbor has cows. He's producing milk, the neighbor is producing milk. This Munyankore has bananas, the neighbor also has bananas. Therefore, this Munyankore cannot buy from this one, and this one cannot buy from the other one, because they have got similar products. And yet, we must answer the question of where does prosperity come from? Does it come from begging foreign countries, foreign aid? Can it ensure prosperity for us? Our answer, the answer of our movement in the 1960s was that no, prosperity can only come from producing a good or a service and selling it. If I produce a good or a service and I sell it, and I do so, we add another word here. We say you must produce a good or a service with a chibaro. A chibaro is our language here, meaning hesabu. Lazima ufanye hesabu. Lazima, you should calculate the good or the service I'm producing. Is it profitable? Is this the best I can? This is the best way to use my scarce resources. If I have got only 2 acres of land for my family, how do I use them to create prosperity for my family? What do I produce? That's how you decide which good or service to produce. The Swahili words for goods is bidhaa, and service is huduma. Bidhaa gani na huduma gani nayoweza kushughulikia kusudi nipate pesa kwa familia yangu tuweze kuishi vizuri. So if you take again the example of those Banyankore, their bidhaa, their good they are producing is milk, is beef, is bananas. But because they are producing similar products, they don't easily buy from one another. So what happens to them? And this is where it now becomes also ideological. Because in the 1960s and 50s, we had a problem here of the politics of identity. politics of tribes, makabila, politics of religion, madini. People are trying to tell our people that tribe is more important than Uganda. Dini is more important than Uganda. But when we came with, me, I am a wealth creator. I am a wealth creator. I don't sitegemea mtu yoyote. Najitegemea kwa kufuga ngombe, kukamua maziwa, kuuza nyama na kuuza ndizi na mazao mengine. I am a wealth creator. I'm not a parasite. Sitegemea mtu yoyote, nategemea jasho langu. So, who can help me in my wealth creation? If you say tribes, then you find that my Banyankwere don't buy my milk. They don't buy my beef. Not because they hate me, but because they have got similar products. They have milk, I have milk. They have beef, I have beef. They have bananas, I have bananas. Now, who then comes to my aid? Nane ananiokoa. The one who comes to my aid is Uganda. Because Uganda is diverse. There are those of us who look after cows, there are others who do other things. So Wale, the other people who don't have cows, or don't concentrate on them so much, are the ones who buy my milk, are the ones who buy my beef, are the ones who buy my bananas. So when you see that Museveni has got a good house in Rwakitura, it is partly because of his efforts, but also because of Uganda. Uganda imemsaidia kupata soko. If Uganda did not buy his bananas, his milk, his beef, huyu mheshimiwa hangekuwa na nyumba nzuri. And he would not live a good life. So I live a good life because, yes, because of my effort, but also because of Uganda. So that's how our movement now, analyzing this, we rejected the other line of politics of identity, politics of tribes, of religion, because we said easy politics has its idea. They don't help us because they don't answer our problem of prosperity. And that's how the first ideological principle of the NRM is patriotism. Love Uganda. Why love Uganda? Because you need it for your prosperity. Ndio sababu lazima upende Uganda. So, that is mission, historical mission number 1, to achieve prosperity. But in order to achieve it, you must be patriotic. You must love Uganda, love Tanzania, love Rwanda, love Burundi, love Kenya, South Sudan, Somalia, Congo, DRC. You love them because you need them. But here in Uganda, we have got a way of speaking because we are never in a hurry. So, to what chari yao? Wakati bado tulikuwa hapo tunaangalia, we discovered now that when we wake up, kulala naye ni vizuri. If you are asleep, nyoka inaweza kuja na inaingia kwenye chumba, inakuboja, unakufa kwa amani bila kujua. So sleeping is also good. Because when you are asleep, you don't know what's happening in the world. You are protected from reality. But when you wake up, unaanza kuwa na hofu. Unakuwa hofu kwa hiki, unakuwa hofu kwa, because unafuatilia mambo. You are following things now. So, when we woke up, these Ugandans, because they were really lost with the tribes, with the religion, when we woke them up, they started producing a lot of production. Maziwa, they were milk. They were producing 200 million liters of milk a year. They are now producing 5.3 billion liters of milk a year. The internal market of Ugandans is now 800 million liters. So they have a surplus of 4 billion liters. Mahindi, maize, they were producing 500,000 tons. They are now producing 5 million tons. But they consume only 1 million tons. They have got a surplus of 4 million tons. Bananas, cement, industrial products, so on, mayai, what? So they have woken up. They are now producing more and more and more. The internal market is not enough. So we come to them and say, you Ugandans, what do we do now? Because some people are telling you about tribes, that tribes are very important. Sugar, we've got a big production of sugar. People are telling you that makabila ni muhimu, madini ni muhimu. Sasa wacha watupatie soko. Because we are stuck now. Where do we sell this surplus? We are stuck. That's how NRM comes. NRM is our party. The other party, the resistance movement. National resistance movement. Resisting what? Confusion. Resist confusion. So then the national resistance movement says, have you heard of East Africa? Yes, of course we have heard of East Africa. Do you know that East Africa can help you buy what cannot be bought here? So they now understand. umuhimu wa East Africa, the importance of East Africa. East Africa can help you buy what you produce. Oh, very good. So East Africa can help us. Yes, it can help you. So, what do we do now? What you do, in terms of ideology, you call yourselves Pan-Africanists. Love East Africa, love Africa. Why? Because you need them for your prosperity. If you want to be prosperous, you have no alternative but to love Uganda and to love Africa. And then we add on other principles. The third principle here in Uganda, in our movement, is socio-economic transformation. We tell our people here that you must become modern people. You cannot continue doing things in the old ways. You must become modern people who know how to do business. We call it socio-economic transformation. And then we add the principle of democracy. So these four principles, patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy, will help us to deal with the issue of prosperity. What I'm talking about, Uganda and the Banyankore, excuse me, is the same with all the communities of East Africa. I remember in 1964, I was in the secondary school, and I started seeing the milk of Kenya. There was milk packed in paper. Those paper are called Tetra Packs. It was produced by KCC, Kenya Creameries Cooperative. I think it was in Eldoret or something like that. And we were buying that milk for a long time. So Kenya, if you see some rich Kenyans, you know that I contributed to them. From 1964, I was buying the milk of KCC until we started having our own milk here, which is now in surplus. Mfuko wangu ulikuwa unasaidia wa Kenya kugombana na umaskini. In the 1960s, I was also supporting our Tanzanian people. There was tinned beef, nyama kwenye kopo, from what they were calling it, 3 bulls, Tanganyika Packers. There was a Tanganyika Packers near the other hill where there is a cement factory. Is it called Hima or what? Towards after the barracks, there are hotels there. There is kuna mlima wa cement. Hiyo sehemu wanaita vipi? What? There is something. But there was a factory there called Tanganyika Packers. And we were buying that beef here in 1960s. It is the one we were using. And then the Chinese built Urafiki factory in Ubungo, and we were buying those kangas from there, and so on. From Burundi, our people were dying from something called primus. Primus beer was killing quite a few of them. Very strong beer I hear. I don't drink beer, so you drink, you tell me. So, this is the historical mission number one. How the integration which you are involved in is not just kazi ya wabunge, work of the MPs. It is a matter of life and survival. If we don't handle it, Africa will be like Latin America. You know, Latin America is a very rich part of the world. They have a lot of natural resources. The big rivers in the world, like the Amazon, are in South America. The big forest of the Amazon is in South America. But you see them on the TV walking on foot to go to the USA. USA is not as rich in natural resources as Latin America. Latin America is richer, but they are badly organized. The market is fragmented. So if I start a company in El Salvador, I start a company in Honduras, a business company, it can't succeed so easily because the market is, part of the problem is the market. Because the market is there, but fragmented. So you people, historically, you are very privileged people, there to help us solve the problem of market integration. The second historical mission is strategic security. Heard some people want to achieve superiority on land. They want to be very strong on land forces. They want to be superior in the Air Force. They want to be superior at sea, the Navy. They want to be superior in space. So, how about us? Sisi tuko hapa tu. We are just here. People are going to the moon, and they are looking at us from the moon. And we are just here like ants. Hatuna shida. Wabunge, mawaziri, watu wakubwa. Lakini we don't know what's happening on the moon. Some people are there looking at us from there. The Americans have been to the moon. The Russians have been there. The Chinese have been there. The Indians have now gone. Sisi tuko hapa. Now, our countries are trying. They are developing. They are developing. You are trying. They are trying. Uganda is developing. It is now a middle-income country, a lower middle-income country. It will become a high middle-income country. It will become a first-world country. We should definitely achieve it. But the question is, UK is a first-world country. France is a first-world country. Germany, all of them are. But none of them has gone to the moon. They are here with us. The ones gone are the Americans, the Russians, the Chinese, and now the Indians. So, it seems there is something about size. You may develop, if you are small or lightweight, you cannot box with heavyweight. However well you are trained, you must keep in your class. So Uganda will be a developed country, but can we afford a space program to go to the moon? This is where now we, the resistance fighters, started disturbing you long ago, in the 1960s, led by Mwalimu and other leaders, Nkrumah, Keita, Sekou Touré, other leaders. Even here in East Africa, we had our leaders there, Jomo Kenyatta, Abeid Karume. Even some of the ministers were very active, like Tom Mboya. I know those who are very active in supporting. John Marechera and others. We're saying, you people, you need a political federation. What I was talking about prosperity, deals with the market, with the integrating the market, so that the market is one, so that business is easy for our people. But even if you have got market integration, like the European Union have, you don't address the issue of strategic security, because you are not one country. You are different countries, different plans, different armies. You do not unite your political and security efforts. You unite the economy, but not the politics, not the defense. Not the defense. Even if you form NATO and so on, things are not so simple. So that's why we, and I've been involved from the 1960s, I've been involved. We have been saying, you people, why don't you form a political federation of East Africa? So that you have got one army and one defense program, so that you can be able to go to the moon if necessary. And you ask the Americans, what are they doing there? Without telling us. Otherwise, we are endangering the African people. This is exactly what happened. Vasco da Gama went around South Africa in 1498. He passed through Mombasa, Fort Jesus, and our chiefs were there watching. Da Gama went to India, then they started coming. You can imagine Vasco da Gama went around South Africa 1498. The first white man to come to Uganda here was Huntington Speke, 1862. This is 400 years from, almost 400 years from when Vasco da Gama passed by the coast. Our kings here were asleep, putting on monkey skins and leopard skins, that they are leopards. $400 of warning. The Europeans were coming. Initially, the Europeans were not strong. Even the guns they had were primitive. But our kings were doing nothing for 400 years. Until they came and started picking them like grasshoppers. had not used the time to prepare. This was enough warning to prepare. Now, when we talk about East African Federation, this is where Mwalimu, with us who were following him, differed with Nkrumah. And also, later on, we differed with Muammar Gaddafi. Because Nkrumah and Muammar Gaddafi and some few others, we are talking about the political union of the whole of Africa. And all African government, we said no. This one is not feasible. Africa is too big, too diverse to become one political unit, but it can be one market. So we support the East African Common Market. They call it CFTA, Continental Free Trade Area. That one we support. The whole of Africa can trade together. But in terms of political integration, I would like to integrate with politically with somebody who is either like me or compatible with me. Must either be similar or compatible. And when I look at you, I try to see how you are different from me. I don't see it very clearly. I'm not able to know that this is a Ugandan. You all look the same to me. Not only that, we have our groups here, the Bantus, the Bantu people. I can speak all the dialects up to Mwanza and up to Ituri Forest. All those dialects are like my dialect. Barundi, Banyarwanda, they all speak something similar to my dialect. The ones of Western Kenya. Are there Mulembe people here? Is there a Mulembe here? Is there a Mulembe person? Mulembe. I'm greeting you, Mulembe. So, but then you have our Nilotics, our Luos. Tie nini, tie Luo kan. Is there a Luo speaker here? Tie kwene. Oh. So the Luo speaking, the Ateker, our people from Turkana, from Topotha, South Sudan, from Teso, Karamajong, Masai. These are all similar people. And the Kushitics, like the Somalis. Somalis, Oromos in South Ethiopia. I can see some Somali fellows, people here. If you ask them, what do you call cow? They will say, Sa. Are there Somalis here? That's one of them. They call cow Sa. Is that correct? Now, in our dialects here, we call cow dung. Cow dung, we don't call it dung. We are not like Europeans. Cows don't have dung. Dung is for human beings. Wazungu kwa sababu hawana maneno ya kutosha, wanasema kila kitu ni mavi. Mavi ya ngombe, mavi ya watu. No. Wabantu hapa hatukubali kwamba ng'ombe zinatoa mavi. Zinatoa, wale wa Somali wanasema saa, sisi tunasema ng'ombe inatoa obusa, busa, obusa, amasha, obusa. Even in Kirundi, Kinyarwanda, I'm sure that's the same word. Huh? Is it not the same word? In Kirundi. Umurundi arihe?
In Kirundi we call it mase, amase.
Ama what? You call it what? Amase.
Yes.
The same.
The same.
And Kinyarwanda? The same. Oh, okay. Obusa, obusa. So you can see what the Somalis call cow. For us here, we call cow dung in all these Bantu dialects. Do you have anybody from Buhaya here, Bukoba? Kuna Muhaya hapa? Nogambaki? Ogumire? Amashani Mugetaki? The same. Just like my language. Wabare muno Norgonka? Kamachumu? Ha, wakamachumu nabantu bamani. Asante sana. Anatoka Kamachumu, ni watu wa fujo huko. Kamachumu maana yake ni sehemu ya mikuki. Amachumu kwa lugha yetu ni mikuki. Kwa hiyo amachumu, that means they were fighting one another. Kamachumu. So East Africa kwanza, first of all, East Africa, the indigenous groups are either similar or linked. Lakini, but additionally, we have got the lack of having Swahili. Swahili, which is lugha ambayo haina mwenyewe. It's a neutral language, a neutral dialect. Doesn't belong to any tribe. Doesn't belong to Wazaramo. The Wazaramo cannot claim that in ya kwetu. Wale wa Rufiji au wote wa pwani huko, they contribute, but it's not belong to any one of them. Ni lugha ambayo haina mwenyewe, which is now can be used by anybody. Because if I come and say, you, all of you speak Kinyankore, nitaanzisha vita. Watu wataanza vita. Kwa nini, why is he imposing his dialect on us? But if I say Swahili, hakuna fujo, wote inakubalika. So, let me come back. Just 1 minute. You should not give old men audience, because you do so at your own risk. So therefore, with the followers of Mwalimu, from the beginning, we insisted on the political federation of East Africa because we think East Africa can build a very cohesive, powerful state that can be a center of gravity for the African race. They can have a very strong country where all the black people can depend on. And this political federation is to deal with the historical mission of strategic security. Economic integration deals with the prosperity, but political integration, where possible, deals with strategic security. Now, the third historical mission is Undugu, brotherhood. It is to say, by the way, the people we are trying to unite, are they not the same people? Are they not similar people? So that's why we emphasize the Undugu. You can hear, even apart from the Swahili, even the indigenous languages. I can understand all the dialects from here up to Burundi, from here up to Mwanza, from here up to, the other day there was, some time ago I saw young people in the town there, in Munyonyo, in one of the hotels. I found them seated there. So, where are you from? No, first, said, what's your name? One of them said her name was Kwambuka. Kwambuka? Where are you from? I'm from Kenya. Kenya where? Kisii. What does Kwambuka mean in your... Do we have a Kisii person here? You Kisii man, you tell us, Kwambuka, what is Kwambuka? Come on the microphone and tell us.
Your Excellency, it means a bridge.
To cross?
To cross over bridge.
Kuvuka?
Kuvuka. Yes, sir.
You can imagine, that's how we call it in Runyankore.
Thank you.
So this girl was called Kwambuka. I said, Kwambuka, where are you from? I am from Kenya. Kenya where? Kisii. Exactly like you can imagine where Banyankole are. They are like 200 miles to the west. This side. Kisii is like another 200 miles to the east. But they have the same words. You hear Mulembe. Mulembe is one of our words meaning peace in some of the dialects. So therefore, our strategy was, why don't we use this Undugu, this brotherhood, to solve the other two problems, the problem of prosperity and the problem of strategic security. Now, today I will give you some gifts. I don't know whether they have enough, but there are some pictures of, can you bring my gift and show them the big one? I don't know whether I have enough, but if I don't have enough, I will give you per delegation. Bring the big one here in front, one of you. Give to the Speaker of Eala. Give him. Can you show it to them if they can see it properly? Show it to those. Me, I know it. I'm the author. For each? Uh-huh. 80. Oh, now, this was a picture. I think it was taken on the 3rd of June, 1963. A picture of our leaders, Jomo Kenyatta, Mwalimu Nyerere, Milton Obote. They also had other leaders. I think they even had a delegation from Somalia, where they were declaring that in 1963, East African Federation would start. And apparently my people have got a smaller picture for each one of you. So that that's my gift to you. Now you can imagine if the Federation had taken off that time in 1963, all these chaos that had happened in East Africa would never have happened. You would never have had Idi Amin in Uganda. Because there's no way Idi Amin can come when there is an East African government. There's no way. The chaos in Burundi, which happened in Burundi, would never have happened. All those problems of 1972, 19 what. The problem of Rwanda was already there, but it would have been easy to solve with the United East Africa. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania together, Zanzibar, we could easily have addressed even the issue of Rwanda, because the problem of Rwanda had already started by the Belgians. The Belgians killing people in 1959. Somalia wanted to join. There was a delegation even in on that time. People like Muhammad Egar. Now Muhammad Egar, who was working for the East African Federation, East African integration, his area now is Somaliland. The other Somaliland, where the other part, which is not in agreement with Mogadishu. The problems of Congo would have been addressed more easily by East Africa. So it would have solved a lot would be very far now. But it is never too late. So it is my honor. I'm very glad that you came here. And I have had now a chance to tell you some of the points I think are important. With these few words, I thank you all, and I thank the Speaker of Eala and the Speaker of Uganda for bringing you to me so that you hear old men's stories. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, we are requesting you to declare the session officially open.
The session or what? What do I open now?
You're opening the session that is sitting in Uganda.
It is now my honor as member of the East African Authority to open the session.
You may take your seats.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. We'll be always thanking you. And some weeks ago, you had invited me as the Speaker of Eala to participate here in National Prayer Breakfast. and I was sitting here. The theme of that day was this one: if the foundation are destroyed, what can the righteous do? This theme was chosen wisely, and it responds to our EAC vision and mission. This because we have received this gift from you, but we remember that in November 1999, that when you, Your Excellency, and two prominent leaders from EAC, that's when you signed the treaty we are using today. Mzee Arap Moi, who was the president of Kenya, is no more there. Mzee William Mkapa, who was the president of URT, has gone. You are the only one who remains with us. And we are celebrating as EAC 25 years of our silver jubilee, because 2024, 1999, it is 25 years. Your Excellency, we are proud that we remain our strongest pillar and foundation, and your legacy lives on. Through your wise leadership, the EAC has rebranded its strategies to boost our market potential. And at that time, you were 3 countries, but today we are 8 countries. We thank you for your leadership. With this, Your Excellency, allow me to recognize the VIPs in the gallery before I give the floor to our member for the vote of thanks. We have first one, we have in the gallery Right Honorable Robinah Nabanja, who is the Prime Minister of Uganda. Please stand up to be recognized. We also have Honorable Richard Tudwong, Secretary General of ANRM. Please be recognized. Thank you. We have Honorable Hamson Obua, Government Chief Whip. Thank you. We have members of the EAC Committee of the Parliament of Uganda, led by Honorable Dr. Sababu Turo, whom I am informed would like to meet you briefly after this session. We have members of Parliamentary Forum on EAC. We also have Honorable Adolph Mwesige, the Clerk to Parliament and staff. We have Ambassador Joash Mangi, High Commissioner of Kenya. We also have a speaker in this house. We have the Speaker of the EAC Youth Parliament, Madame Belinda. Please be recognized. With this, I invite we have the front bench. Let's start by the Minister, Rebecca Kadaga, in charge of East African Community, who is there. We also have the Minister from Tanzania in charge of EAC, who's there. He will have to take oath tomorrow to be an ex-officio full member. We also have the Minister in charge of EAC from Kenya. She'll also take oath tomorrow. We have the Councillor of the Community, the CTC, who is there. And then we have the Right Honourable, my colleague, the Speaker of the National Assembly, who's with us. Thank you. Thank you. Now I invite Honourable Guiding, and please be short, be brief. We don't need a long speech. Everything has been done here, has been said. You have the floor. Come here. You can use this. Be brief.
Your Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honourable Speaker Joseph Nekuturamana, Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly, Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, Honourable Anita Annette Among, Right Honourable First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Honourable Rebecca Kadaga, Honourable Ministers from Uganda present, Honourable Members of the Parliament of Uganda present, Honourable Members of the East African Legislative Assembly, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with deep gratitude and honor that we, the members of the East African Legislative Assembly, extend our heartfelt thanks to you, Your Excellency, for hosting this significant plenary session in Kampala. Your steadfast leadership in advancing the East African community and your unwavering commitment to regional integration continue to inspire not only Uganda, but the entire East African region. We take this opportunity also to acknowledge our colleagues, fellow members in Eala from the chapter of Uganda. Your Excellency, the caliber of Eala representatives from Uganda is a testament to your commitment for ensuring strong, capable leadership within the EAC. Their dedication and contributions have greatly enriched our legislative work, and we are grateful for the quality of leadership that Uganda continues to provide for the region. Your Excellency, on behalf of my colleagues, I wish to express our sincere appreciation for your strong stance in upholding African values, traditions, and family principles, particularly in your leadership regarding non-traditional lifestyles. While acknowledging diverse perspectives, your dedication in preserving the societal fabric of Uganda and the region resonates deeply across East Africa. By focusing on providing essential services, quality education, and the well-being of all citizens, you have ensured that we remain focused on the core priorities for our people rather than external agendas. Under your leadership, Uganda has made tremendous strides in national development, from infrastructure expansion to technological innovation. These achievements serve as a model for progress across East Africa. We are proud to witness the positive impact of your leadership, not only within Uganda, but across the EAC, as you continue to advocate for stronger economic and technological integration. Your Excellency, while we celebrate the progress made in the EAC, we must acknowledge the significant challenges posed by the community's limited financial resources. The EAC budget for the year 2024-2025 financial year stands at 112 million, with only 67 million of this figure contributed by the partner states. This figure has remained unchanged for the past 5 years, despite the expansion of the community with the inclusion of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Federal Republic of Somalia. The region now serves over 300 million citizens, yet our capacity to deliver critical programs is constrained by this static budget. The situation, Your Excellency, is exacerbated by the issue of non-remittance from some partner states, leading to liquidity issues that have severely impacted the ability of the EAC institutions to function effectively. At present, the budget absorption rate stands at 48%, meaning that less than half of the allocated funds are being used for the intended programs. This underperformance, Your Excellency, has resulted in delays or cancellation of vital programs, limiting the EAC's capacity to meet its objectives. Due to these constraints, Your Excellency, many essential programs have been cut or scaled back. For example, the Finance and Administration Committee, which advises the Council of Ministers on budgetary matters, has consistently reduced the funding for critical programs. One significant casualty was Eala's outreach and sensitization program, which involved Eala members visiting all partner states by land, assessing key one-stop border posts, engaging with citizens to evaluate how they are benefiting from the EEC programs. This initiative provided, Your Excellency, deep insights into the challenges faced by our people, and through direct engagement, we were able to recommend meaningful changes. Unfortunately, this valuable program was scrapped due to budget cuts. Similarly, we had a 10-day sensitization program which allowed Eala members to travel across their own partner states to raise awareness about the EAC integration agenda, was also discontinued. This program was vital in bringing the message of regional integration directly to our citizens. Cutting such programs, Your Excellency, has significantly reduced our ability and visibility to engage directly with the people we serve and gauge the real impact of EAC policies on the ground. Another program also that was scrapped, Your Excellency, was the Nyanyuki series. That was a program that allowed us as Member of Parliament of Eala to engage with our counterpart, members of the national parliaments. During this engagement, we discussed issues, challenges, bills that could change the situation within East Africa. That series also, Your Excellency, has been scrapped. Autonomy of Eala, Right Honour, Your Excellency. We believe that granting Eala greater autonomy would strengthen its ability to independently mobilize resources. Autonomy would enhance our capacity to ensure efficient budget use and provide oversight on long-term initiatives in areas such as infrastructure, agriculture, and technology. Your Excellency, your hosting us at this plenary provides an excellent opportunity to gain traction for some of Eala's important initiatives. Our chair of the Committee on Communication, Trade and Investment, Honorable Shahbal, has proposed a motion for the establishment of an East African Investment Bank, which he will be presenting during this session. An East African Investment Bank would be a vital instrument to fund large-scale infrastructure, industrialization, and technology-driven initiatives. This bank would allow the EAC to pool resources, mobilize funds, and invest in transformative projects, reducing reliance on external donors who often set their own agenda. By creating our own investment bank, we can take control of our development priorities, ensuring that critical projects in infrastructure, health, agriculture, and technology are implemented according to the EAC regional goals. Your Excellency, the adage that says, beggars cannot be choosers, aptly describes the current constraints of donor funding. But with an East African Investment Bank, we can choose and prioritize the projects that align with our own vision for the future of East Africa. The importance of adequate funding, Your Excellency, is really important, but also the alternative financial mechanism, which is currently under review. This available funding could allow us, Your Excellency, to implement the Common Market Protocol. It will allow us to fast-track legislative work, policy implementation, and technical preparation for the free movement of people, goods, services, and capital, thereby unleashing the economic potential of East Africa. With sufficient funds, a fully operational customs union can also be achieved. Your Excellency, despite the many opportunities within our region, intra-regional trade within EAC remains quite low, currently standing at 15%. This is far below the potential given the resources that we have within our region. Your Excellency, your leadership in promoting intra-African trade has been pivotal, but we must continue pushing for more collaboration and investment to fully realize East African potential. Last critical point, Your Excellency, is tourism, which presents enormous potential, particularly in light of major continental events like the African Cup of Nations. However, the fragmented visa system, where you have got Kenya and Uganda, where you can get a single tourist visa, while countries like the United Republic of Tanzania, you would require a separate visa. This undermines our efforts to present the EAC as a single tourist destination and reduces the region's effectiveness and attractiveness to global tourists and investors. We urge the adoption of a single EAC visa policy for all partner states to simplify travel and position East Africa as a prime global destination. We also call Your Excellency for the expedition in, for the amendment of the East African Treaty. Your Excellency, it is imperative that we expedite the amendment of the Treaty of the East African Community to accommodate the evolving dynamics of our region. Since last amendment, we have grown from 3 partner states to 8, and probably there will be also a possibility of further expansion. This growth demands a more robust and updated legal framework to effectively manage the increasing complexities of integration and cooperation. Your Excellency, last but not least, commemorating the 25 years of the EAC calls for reflection and action. As we commemorate the 25 years of the East African Community, it is an opportune time and a moment to reflect on our achievements and challenges while planning for the future. We believe that now is the ideal time, Your Excellency, to establish a panel of experts that can be tasked with assessing the EAC progress and recommend strategies for the future. This panel should focus on vital areas of development, such as agriculture and food security, health system, climate change, infrastructure development, and harnessing technology to drive innovation. The panel should report directly to the Summit of Heads of State within a defined time frame, ensuring that its recommendations are actionable and timely. Additionally, Your Excellency, we respectfully request that the Summit Heads of State consider establishing a platform for direct engagement with Eala members. As representatives of the people, we are in a unique position to provide valuable insights into how EAC policies are impacting citizens on the ground. A meeting perhaps once a year on the sidelines of the summit meetings or any other forum would allow us to offer critical feedback and present tangible recommendations that align with regional decisions with the real needs of East Africa. In conclusion, Your Excellency, we extend again our heartfelt gratitude for your leadership and hospitality. The challenges we face, particularly around financial sustainability and regional integration, require urgent attention. The alternative financial mechanism, the establishment of the East African Investment Bank, and greater autonomy for Eala present viable solutions. And we call for their swift implementation to ensure EAC institutions are adequately funded and empowered. Furthermore, the adoption of a single EAC visa, the revitalization of the outreach and sensitization programs, the amendment of the treaty, and a renewed focus on intra-regional trade are critical areas where your leadership will continue to guide the EAC towards greater unity and prosperity. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your unwavering commitment to the success and unity of the East African community.
Mpigie makofi binti. I can see there are sharp girls in the East Africa. Unatoka wapi?
South Sudan.
South Sudan. Which side of South Sudan? Tonj. Tonj, this is up there. Okay. Okay, thank you. Very sharp guy. What she's talking about, this funding, a budget of $120 million is nothing. We should share it and provide it. But I think the issue is really to understand what I was saying before. Where will growth come from? Growth. Because like here, recently I was having some issue with my people here. They wanted me to ban rice from Tanzania. They were saying rice from Tanzania is killing our so-called rice farmers here, inefficient farmers of Uganda of rice. They were saying because Tanzanian rice is cheaper, I should ban it. Imagine, I said I cannot do that. Because if I ban it, I am committing 4 sins. And since I want to go to heaven, I cannot be part of. Sin number 1 is that I am undermining those Tanzanians, rice growers, who are doing the rice better than my inefficient farmers here. So I will be, by denying them a market, I'm undermining them. Instead of encouraging them to say, since you grow the rice well, do it, we all buy from you. Secondly, I would also be crippling the Tanzanian, Ugandan rice growers because they don't learn how to be more efficient. They depend on protection by the government. Then thirdly, I will be punishing the Ugandans, forcing them to buy more expensive rice from inefficient Ugandan rice growers instead of buying cheaper rice. But then number 4, then Tanzania will also kulipiza kisasi. Tanzania will also revenge by banning something from Uganda. Then that childish game goes on and our future is ruined. So if the policy makers and the bureaucrats understand where growth will come from, there is no way you can say you are developing Uganda if you don't care about East Africa. I can tell you that. To say that I'm developing Uganda, I'm developing Tanzania, but I don't care about East Africa, you are deceiving yourself. Because without East Africa, we shall not grow so easily. In the past, in 1980, I was the Minister of Regional Cooperation. And at that time, we were pushing COMESA. COMESA, you know COMESA? Yes. We went for a summit in Botswana. Then after that, I went to the bush to sort out some issues. But when I was in the bush, I heard that Botswana had pulled out of COMESA. I think even Tanzania also pulled out of COMESA. Now, the reason why Botswana at that time was not understanding the importance of COMESA was because they depend on diamonds. They were depending on diamonds. Now, diamonds are consumed by Europeans, not by us. So I think they were not understanding the importance of COMESA. That's why they left. Tanzania also left. I don't know why they left. But now, the Botswana people are coming here because they are now beginning to understand the importance of the market, because they are now producing other things, including vaccines. They came here, they were trying to sell vaccines. So we don't have to learn from mistakes. The answers are already there. So I think what you should do, talk to your bureaucrats, because the bureaucrats are the ones who sometimes advise the political people. And the political leaders, sometimes they are very busy. This one here, this one here, this one here. So if the bureaucrats dealing with the economy could be, if you could target them and they understand that growth will come from, because now, like, the other day, I went to the border. One of my clansmen in Tanzania had died. My clan goes into Tanzania. So I told President Chikwete, I said, my clansman has died. I want to go and say sorry. He allowed me. I went, crossed the Kagera River, went to, did something there with my clan. And then when I came back, on the Uganda side, there was a huge town which was not there in 1979 when we were fighting Idi Amin. There was nothing there. Now there's a big town there. So I stopped in my car. I said, you people, where are you getting this wealth from? They said, from the river. That they are smuggling. They are smuggling. They are smuggling from the river, through the river Kagera. Because Tanzania is growing a lot of things now. They are growing maharage, beans, and other things, and then they are smuggling them. But why do you smuggle? You do it properly. So Tanzania now is becoming, even now they are going to Congo. They are really active now. They are beginning to know the importance of exporting to the region. Kenya, Wakenya hao ni wafanyabiashara wa zamani. They knew the nani. Although sometimes they forget about Christianity. They block my things, but me as a Christian, I said, whether you block me, Mungu atawasamehe. So I think what you need to do is really sensitize, especially the civil servants, so they understand and the business sector. The business people can understand much quicker. So wafanya biashara watawara msonge, bureaucrats tunawahitaji watawara msonge. What do we call bureaucrats kwa Kiswahili? Huh? Somebody tell me in the microphone. I know unaweza kusema watumishi wa serikali
urasimu. Urasimu.
Urasimu.
Yeah.
Huyu ni mtu ni nini? The bureaucrat.
Bureaucrat.
Unamhitaji bureaucrat.
Mrasimu.
Mrasibu.
Mrasimu.
Nitakuja kujua. Thank you very much. Let's go and have a group photograph somewhere. Oh, I have interfered with the... wana mapinduzi hawajui mambo ya hitifaki, mnasema hitifaki. Hitifaki.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Honorable members, before I adjourn this House, tomorrow at 9 morning, we have to be in the chamber because we have our members will take oath. I said 9 because by 10, the Uganda National Parliament, they have a meeting there. So we have to be there at 9 a.m. They need the chamber tomorrow up to Thursday. This is one. Second, I adjourn this House to tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Stand up for the anthems.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together,